I'm going to get just a couple things out of the way real quick here. I apologize for the sound quality of basically all of my videos. Right now, for example, I've got a heater running under the table because it's 2,000 degrees below zero down or outside. So it's kind of chilly in the basement still. The heater's not on in the house, but when it comes on, it's going to get even worse. This camera, which is a piece of shit, does not allow an external microphone, so I can't have one of those clip-on thingies or even like a shotgun mic. So we just have to deal with that. I did buy a new camcorder that allows an external microphone and comes with its own shotgun mic. And I thought, yay, that'll be awesome. But I can't mount it on my little homegrown little stand there because of where the memory card has to go. So I am in the market for a camera that will suit all of my needs. It's possible one doesn't exist. Anyway, I wanted to just switch things up just a little bit and talk about One Pocket. What little I know about One Pocket will come in handy because I play in the One Pocket division at Derby City Classic, which is in about 6 weeks. My main game is Banks. That's the one that is my favorite game to play. It's my most fun game, but it's not my best game. My best game, honestly, I think my best game is One Pocket, and that is not saying a whole lot. What it's really saying is it's my most consistent game. I'm very, very streaky at Bank, very streaky at Bank. At One Pocket, I pretty much am generally at about a middle of the road level, I guess. Whereas Bankful, I can do this, and often do this. Anyway, I've only been playing One Pocket since 2011, so a decade. And for the most part, I've been playing 3 different people, besides the ones at Derby and stuff like that. But going to the pool hall and playing 3 different people. One of these guys he's an older gentleman. He's been playing One Pocket for a very, very long time, and he should beat me on paper every time we play because he knows so much more about the game and the strategies and stuff. The fact is, I win most of the time that I play because this particular gentleman, he often tries to outshoot me. My strong suit in any game is probably offense, especially One Pocket, because I don't know the moves and the strategies and things like that as well. So I usually just try to be an offensive player. And whenever this guy would try to keep up with me offensively, he couldn't do it and I would win. The other guy that I used to play, I thought we were just about dead even, although he had more experience than me. And he's unfortunately passed away. And then another guy I used to play, I guess we drifted apart a little bit or whatever. We don't really play. But all these people were very helpful and would very freely tell me things to try to help me out. Either they were trying to help me out or they were lying to me to try to get my money. Either way. In theory, I can still learn something. One of the first things that was taught to me was to try to split the 8 and the 1 in this case with inside English. And I think I've learned a little bit since then. I try to hit the 1 just a little bit ahead of time. And my break isn't very good. Sometimes it's better than that. I would say it's often better than that. But oh well, imagine if the 14 wasn't here, this wouldn't be that bad of a break. I don't know. For me, it wouldn't be that bad. There could be anybody that is a real One Pocket player watching this video and decide everything I do is wrong and everything I do sucks. And they would probably be right if they're a real One Pocket player. Because I'm not. One of the first things that I was told, just the very most basic strategy about One Pocket was, I was told if I am not 100% sure I'm going to make a ball in my pocket, then I damn well better make it a 2-way shot. And if I can't do that, then I need to shoot something else. Shoot a safety or something like that. That was one of the very first things that was ever taught to me. You know, that would apply in this case. I am going to make this 14. So I'm 100% sure I'm going to make it. Now watch me miss it on camera, that'd be funny. But I shoot this, I don't have to pay any attention at all to anything else, whether I'm at risk of selling out or anything, because I'm not going to miss. That takes all that pressure off now. I don't have to worry about any of this crap. The 5 and the 13 over by my opponent's pocket. I don't have to worry about it. Put that on my brain. I don't have split brain syndrome I've talked about. I just put this ball in. I'm glad I made that on camera. So then we come over here, and I have a combination. That's all I can't see the 12 or the 3. I can combo the 9 into it. And this is where we get into the second part of that advice I was giving. If I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to make the shot, then shoot something else or make it a two-way shot. Easier said than done in very many cases to make it a two-way shot. My opponent's got shit right here. Now me, I'm horrible at combinations. Even if I had ball in hand on this combination, I doubt that I'm 50-50 to make it. I doubt that I am. It's sad, but that's just the way it is. So okay, I'm going to assume that I would miss that shot and sell out one of these 2 balls. I don't see a way to make a two-way shot out of it. Not yet. I don't. Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I do. I lied. I don't want it to be long. Like a lot of my one-pocket games will go really quick, or a lot of them will take 1,000 years. And I'd rather have this be a really quick one, and I think anyone watching this would rather have it be really quick than take 1,000 years. We don't have that kind of time. But what if, instead of comboing the 9-3, which is a little bit straighter of a shot, but I don't have any way to make it a two-way shot, what if I combo the 9-12? Then maybe I can spin the cue ball back here somewhere. Make it a two-way shot. It's not going to be a lock-up safety unless I get really lucky. But it's better than basically shooting a stop shot at the 9 and hoping the 3 goes in. For me, it's better than that. So I should be able to cut this 9 to my left with some right spin. And come like it. So that was all great. Now it sucks that I made the shot. But at least I didn't sell out the game. Make sense? So those are the things, the 2 absolute main things that were taught to me was, if I've got a 100% makeable shot, basically they said shoot it. I think they may have just been oversimplifying things in that case. Let's say my opponent left me the cue ball right here. All right, let's say about right here. And that's my pocket. Sure, I can make that 9. I don't know if I would call that 100% for me in my old eyes, but let's say I could. I'm perfectly straight in on it. I shouldn't shoot that shot. I don't think they were lying to me about that. They just didn't see that possibility, or they didn't figure my brain could handle it at that time or whatever. In this case, the only offensive shot that I have would be like a Tony Chohan, kick off this rail in the 5 and put the 5 in and then run out. But I'm Dave, I'm not Tony, so I do not have the ability or really inclination to try shit like that. So, next best thing to try to do is just play safe. And this is where I think one pocket is a lifetime learning experience, and I've got a decade. There are probably things that I could do that would be awesome at this point. And people would go, oh, good shot. The first thing that jumps into my mind is skim this 5 and try to send the cue ball over here. Hit the rail, try to send the cue ball over here. But then the second thing that comes to my mind is if I do that, I left my opponent a shot at this 1 ball. A bank at the 1 ball. Maybe my opponent would not shoot it, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of people I play would shoot it and make it just to annoy me. And what I want to look at though is I want to go back to the example that I just got done talking about with the cue ball up here. If I can get the cue ball right here, I think that's just as good, maybe even better, than playing it safe and letting my opponent see the 1. Because if I'm playing anybody that's any good, they're not going to shoot this 9. If I'm playing somebody that maybe is much more of a 9-ball player or something, sure, maybe they'll fire the 9 in, but then they're stuck. They don't have anything else to do except try to play some kind of a trick shot or a safety or whatever. So, the more I look at this, you know what, I mentioned that I played in this 8-ball tournament, and one of the reasons that I did well in it is because my foot has been killing me, so I'm limping around the table and walking really slowly. That's helping one pocket. Because in the olden days of like September, I would have already skimmed the 5 and probably sold out a bank on the 1. I would have already done it. But because, well, partly because I'm talking to the camera and probably because I'm old and being slow, I had time to think about it. And so my thinking about it is going to be, let's get the cue ball up there in that corner. Can I get the cue ball up in that corner by like skimming the 13 with a lot of right English, right side spin coming up? I don't really think that I can. I think there's too much risk of the cue ball hitting this ball, coming this way, and then going right smack into the 2 or the 7. And I wouldn't want that. So I'm going to take a foul. I'm going to try to put the cue ball up there in that, not in the corner, but up here in this area, like a kind of a straight in shot at the 9. I'm going to try. This is why we practice, you know. I don't know if I can do this or not. I'm liable to just put the cue ball straight in the pocket. Because I do that a lot, but I'm trying not to. So it didn't go straight in the pocket. This ball is not where I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be here. My opponent, now I'm guy on my left here, you're right. Got a little bit of a shot here. We've got a little bit of an angle on this 9 ball. I can shoot this 9 and come out and probably bank the 5 next. The question becomes, is this 9 a 100% make for me? And not only making the 9, but basically bouncing straight out so I have a little bit of a crossing bank on the 5. Is doing that a 100% thing for me? Everybody's different, every situation's different, every day's different. There might be days where I think that's the easiest shot in the world, and there might be days where it's impossible for me to do it. For the sake of a little bit of brevity right here, I'm going to pretend that that is a 100% make opportunity for me. Shoot the 9, come out a little bit, and then cross bank the 5 next. So we'll just see what happens in real life here. I made a ball. I didn't bounce out nearly as far as I wanted to. I'm not entirely sure that I have a crossing bank anymore. I'm going to try it, but I'm not entirely sure that I do. I'm thinking the 5 might come about this way. If the 5 comes about this way, I'm kind of blocking a bank, though. The 3 won't bank if there's a 5 ball sitting here. Most likely the 3 won't bank. I mean, my other options, I'm still thinking, we bank the 13 into the 5 and just have the cue ball just come up here somewhere. 13 might get lucky and bank the 5 into my pocket, but the 13 also might get unlucky and stay down here somewhere. So it doesn't do me any good to put the cue ball up here if the 13 is down here. Plus, I'm still leaving this stupid 1 ball. So I'm going to go back to my first plan, and I'm just going to try to just put a lot of right side spin on this 5. And that is about where I said that 5 was going to go, wasn't it? Pretty much about where I said it was going to go. But also, as I said, I don't have a bank. The 3 won't bank because the 5's in the way. Even the 5's not over here it being in the way, but it's here being in the way. Same deal. I'm already running out of patience on this game. I'm not running out of patience, I'm running out of wanting to make you people endure this. I just wanted to talk just about thought processes and things. I actually enjoy watching videos that I've made for myself, of myself trying to think through racks and what am I seeing, what am I thinking, all that. I enjoy watching those. One of the weird things about me is that I think I learn more. Hell, maybe even a lot of people learn more. I learn more from watching people play that are like my level or a little bit above, because they are doing things that I am capable of doing. They could certainly know better, know more about the strategy and things like that that I just don't know. But they're not doing anything super crazy or whatever. You know, sure, I love watching Efren and Tony Chohan and people like that play one pocket, but they do stuff that at my level I just flat out can't do. So it doesn't do me any good to learn that shot unless I want to table it and go, okay, when I'm 75, I want to try that shot because I should be good enough by then. Does that make sense? At this point, now I'm back to being this guy. I don't have any balls, but I've got the whole world in front of my pocket, and I'm about to have another ball in front of my pocket. So all I'm going to try to do, this is not a 100% make or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is protect as much as I can. I'm going to try to put the cue ball over here and protect as much as I can. I can't protect everything. Ideally, I'd like to protect this 5. Where I'm going to bank the 3 back in that general area. If I let my opponent see the 5, then probably all that he's got to do is hit a stop shot, stop the cue ball right there. And that's kind of safe. I would rather leave my opponent up here somewhere where he might have a bank at the 2 ball. He might end up with some kind of a field goal bank on the 13 ball or whatever. But at least those are hard shots, and the pressure of the situation and all that, you know, could cause him to screw up or not even shoot it at all. So what I really want to do is I want to protect against that 5, which means I need to get the cue ball basically about up to this diamond. Seems like an awful long way to go, and it is, because I'm definitely going to be leaving a view at all this stuff. But I'm not going to let him see the 5. At least that's the plan. The other option I would have, and I'm just flat out not good enough, would be to somehow follow through the 3 ball, something like that, and get the cue ball to bounce off the rail and stick about right here. That would be really good. Then I am truly protecting everything. I do not believe I have that option, though, with this angle that I have. I don't believe I have that option. So, just for kicks, I'm going to go ahead and try to bank the 3 into the 5, because that's the angle that I have. If it goes in, that's great. If it doesn't, well, then maybe it'll set. That's even better, right? And 3 is now where the 5 was, and the opponent can't see it. Cool, right? He's got 3 balls, and he does not have field goal position to bank the 13. He cannot see the 7 to bank it, cannot see the 2 to bank it, can't do really very much of anything. That what I did right there was a good shot. And I guess I like to use things like that as an example that I have learned some things in the past decade. Now, an awful lot of players would have done like I said and got the cue ball right here. An awful lot of players would have done like I did, but they would have froze the cue ball. I feel like I did a good job of working with the tools I have available to myself here. Anyways, now I'm this guy, and I don't like that 5 ball being where it is, clearly, but is there anything I can do about it? I don't think I can skim off the 8 and go down and just put the 5 in for it. I think the 11's in my way. I believe that I can go off the 7 and put the 5 in. But that 13 is very close, and I could very easily, if I misjudge it at all, then I hit the 13 and sell out. I don't want to sell out the game. I got a 3-ball lead over here. But just because you don't want to do something doesn't mean it's never going to happen. And what I'm going to do right here, don't know these shots, but I think this is what I'm being forced to do, is I'm going to shoot the 11 into the 13. I'm going to pretend I'm trying a bank combo. So the 13 should come over here and back towards my pocket. The 11 should bounce off here and back up here somewhere. I don't think the 11 is going to make the 5. So in other words, I'm leaving that 5 setting there. That means I got to try to control the cue ball. I believe I have an angle if I just shoot a stop shot. Maybe drift the cue ball towards the camera a quarter of an inch. That my opponent will not have an immediate next shot to run out on. That's what I think. And the more I look at it, the more I think that. There's a very, very, very slight cut to my right with this 11 ball. That's how I made 2 balls there. See, the cue ball kind of stopped. I didn't think that would happen, but it did. So now he's got 2. Are we bored yet? Yeah, we're bored. This is one of my issues with one pocket. I'm like, all right, that's enough damn safeties. I'm going to try to shoot something now. Unfortunately, because this cue ball is kind of stuck at the top of the stack, I don't have a whole lot to shoot at. One of the few things I have going for me, though, is my opponent, this guy, doesn't really have anything that's worrisome, except the 8 will go. This combination, 16-13, is not wired up. The 8 will go in that pocket, though. Not from here, probably. The 3 will go. And that's it. So if I can get the cue ball really anywhere at this end of the table, I think it's a pretty safe shot. You don't want to put the cue ball all the way over here, because then he might take a flyer and cut it at 13. So, I think after all that yammering, I'm just going to try to cut this 7 in. Should go off the left side of the 2. I'm going to put top left on it. Should go off the left side of 2. The cue ball should come here and down here for the 3. This is what would happen if I was a good player. Sometimes this is what happens even though I'm just an average player. Of course, I'm going to miss the 7 by 8 feet, so I am trying to control the cue ball a little bit. No, it didn't do it. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do at all. So that sucked. As it turned out, I didn't sell out anything. And that was nice of me to not sell out anything. I'm going to stop this. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to stop this, and maybe there'll be like a part 2 of this same game. That'd be exciting, right?